Shake-up in Griggs County after the sheriff and deputy resigned following recent criticism. A special commission meeting was held in Griggs County to talk about that resignation of Sheriff Michael Beaver and Deputy Tyler Rispa. The resignations come after concerns raised about the what some believe was over-policing at the annual smoker event in Cooperstown, April 13th. Several people wrote into our hotline, our whistleblower hotline, expressing concerns, some saying the sheriff's office was targeting people in the area. Others cited lack of trust with law enforcement. We have much more details on this interesting story on our VNL News app. For now, County Coroner Rick Cushman has been appointed to the interim sheriff spot until a new one is appointed.